The Chosen Season 6 trailer has arrived, and it's packed with powerful moments, emotional surprises, and hidden details that you might have missed. From dramatic character arcs to hints about what's coming next, this trailer is more than just a sneak peek. It's a roadmap of the powerful stories we're about to experience. Let's break it down step by step. Season 5 left fans on the edge of their seats, and that's exactly why Season 6 feels so highly anticipated. To really understand the importance of this new trailer, we need to step back and remember where the story left off. Season 5 was a turning point. It wasn't just about the miracles or the teachings. It was about the growing tension, both among the disciples and with the outside world. Every episode built toward bigger questions. Who will stand by Jesus when things get difficult? And how will his mission continue as opposition rises? We saw the disciples struggling with their personal journeys. Some of them began to truly understand the weight of their calling, while others still fought with doubt, fear, or even jealousy. These moments made Season 5 emotional, because it showed us that following Jesus wasn't easy. It was a path filled with sacrifice, misunderstandings, and deep inner conflict. And for the audience, that struggle made the story even more relatable. We don't just see heroes, we see real human beings, flawed and uncertain, trying to walk a path of faith. By the final episodes, the pressure around Jesus' ministry was clear. The crowds were growing, his teachings were stirring up both hope and controversy, and his enemies were watching closely. We felt the sense that something much larger was about to happen. Season 5 carefully built this foundation, almost like preparing us for a storm on the horizon. And that storm is what Season 6 promises to deliver. That's why the trailer is so important. It doesn't just give us new footage. It gives us a continuation of this journey. Every glance, every word, and every setting in the trailer carries the weight of what came before. If Season 5 was about setting the stage, Season 6 looks like the moment when the story takes a dramatic leap forward. And fans who remember the emotional depth of the last season will know exactly why this next chapter feels so urgent, so intense, and so full of meaning. The trailer for The Chosen Season 6 doesn't waste a single frame. Every second feels deliberate, filled with tension, emotion, and foreshadowing. It opens with quiet, almost haunting visuals, reminding us that calm moments in this series often carry the heaviest weight. We see Jesus in a still setting, his face both peaceful and burdened. This single image tells us that the coming episodes won't just explore his miracles, but the emotional cost of his journey. The silence in the opening is powerful, almost like the calm before the storm. Then the pace shifts. Quick cuts show us the disciples in moments of struggle, some walking in determination, others standing in confusion. What stands out is the way the trailer uses shadows and light. Scenes of Jesus surrounded by growing crowds feel bright and hopeful. But these moments are quickly contrasted with darker frames. The watchful eyes of enemies, the tense whispers of those who oppose him. This back and forth between light and darkness visually hints at the central theme of Season 6. Hope clashing with resistance, faith tested by fear. Another striking detail comes from the way the trailer highlights relationships. We catch glimpses of the disciples exchanging worried glances, their unity tested by the weight of their mission. A brief shot of Peter shows him in deep conflict, almost torn between courage and doubt. Mary is seen comforting someone, a reminder of her role as both witness and supporter. These flashes may seem small, but they reveal the emotional stakes that will drive the season. And then, there are the words. Trailers often save their most powerful dialogue for key moments, and here we hear phrases that cut straight to the heart. "The time is coming," one voice warns, while another insists, "We cannot turn back now." These lines aren't just dialogue, they are promises of what lies ahead. They remind us that Season 6 isn't just another chapter. It's a turning point where choices matter more than ever. The closing shots of the trailer bring everything together. Jesus walks forward, surrounded by disciples, but the tone is heavier than in past seasons. There's strength in his steps, but also a shadow of what's coming. The final cut leaves us with a lingering feeling. Hope mixed with dread, excitement mixed with sorrow. And that emotional blend is exactly what makes this trailer so powerful. One of the most exciting parts of the Chosen Season 6 trailer isn't just what we see, but who we see and who we don't. The faces on screen carry as much weight as the story itself, because every returning actor reminds us of the journey their character has taken. And in this trailer, the cast is presented almost like a chorus, each voice and expression adding a new layer to the unfolding drama. Jonathan Rumi, as Jesus, continues to be the emotional anchor. Even in brief moments, his performance radiates both authority and vulnerability. The trailer shows him in quieter scenes, his gaze steady, his presence commanding, but his eyes carrying sorrow. It's a reminder that Season 6 will not only show the miracles but also the man who bears the world's burdens. His portrayal feels even heavier this time, as though every word he speaks will carry prophetic weight. The disciples also take center stage, and their portrayals hint at deeply personal journeys. Shahar Isaac as Simon Peter looks more conflicted than ever. His expressions in the trailer suggest a man torn between fierce loyalty and overwhelming fear. His arc has always been about wrestling with faith, and the quick flashes we see suggest that Season 6 will push him to his limits. Liz Tabish, as Mary Magdalene, meanwhile, appears in moments of quiet strength. Whether she's consoling others or standing firm in tense situations, she embodies both compassion and resilience, a reminder of the unique role she plays in Jesus' ministry. The trailer also teases Andrew, Matthew, Thomas, and the rest of the disciples, each captured in fleeting but telling shots. Their body language reveals more than words. Some seem determined, while others look shaken by what's to come. It's as if the group is united by faith, but divided by fear, and that tension will likely drive many of their interactions this season. But perhaps the most intriguing part is the presence of new faces. Though the trailer doesn't reveal much, sharp-eyed fans will notice unfamiliar figures in the background. Roman officials, local leaders, and possibly even characters who will play crucial roles in escalating the conflict. Their brief appearances suggest that the story's scope is widening, drawing more people into the orbit of Jesus' ministry, for better or worse. And then there are the absences. Certain characters aren't featured prominently in the trailer, which raises questions. Are they being kept secret for dramatic reveals? Or are their stories heading in a darker direction? Sometimes what we don't see in a trailer is just as important as what we do. Together, the cast of Season 6 looks prepared to deliver performances that are heavier, sharper, and more emotionally charged than ever. The trailer reminds us that this isn't just a story of one man. It's a story of a community, each person playing their part in a destiny that will change history. One of the biggest questions every fan has after watching the Season 6 trailer is simple. When will it finally be released? And while the trailer itself doesn't stamp an exact date across the screen, it does drop clues. The production team behind The Chosen has built a reputation for carefully timed announcements, often aligning with major faith-based events or streaming rollouts. Season 6 appears to be following that same pattern. If we look back at previous seasons, the release strategy has been both bold and unpredictable. Episodes have premiered in theaters, rolled out on streaming platforms like the Angel Studios app, and even been broadcast on television for a wider audience. This flexibility has made The Chosen unique. It's not tied to one platform, but to the audience itself. That's why predicting the Season 6 release isn't about checking a calendar. It's about reading the rhythm of how this show connects with its fans. From production updates shared by cast members and behind-the-scenes glimpses, we know Season 6 has been deep in filming and post-production throughout the year. The trailer's polished look suggests that the majority of filming is complete, with editing, scoring, and fine-tuning now underway. This means we're not looking at a distant release. We're looking at something just around the corner. Many industry watchers believe Season 6 will land either late this year or very early next year, aligning with the show's tradition of aiming for emotional seasons, to launch during spiritually significant times. But what makes Season 6's release even more intriguing is its weight in the overall story arc. The creators have already confirmed that The Chosen will run for 7 seasons. That places Season 6 in a crucial position, the bridge between the ministry's growth and the events that will ultimately lead to the crucifixion and resurrection. In other words, this isn't just another season. It's the chapter where the tone shifts, the stakes rise, and the story edges closer to its climax. That's why the release date matters so much. Fans aren't just waiting for more episodes. They're waiting for the moment when the narrative truly begins its final march. So while the official date remains under wraps, the message is clear. The wait is almost over, and when that announcement finally drops, every great trailer sparks conversation. But the chosen Season 6 trailer has done more than that. It has ignited a wave of theories, predictions, and debates across the fan community. Some of these theories feel almost certain, while others are bold leaps of imagination. Together, they show just how invested viewers are in where this story is heading. One of the strongest theories centers on Peter's inner conflict. The trailer shows him in moments of doubt, his eyes heavy with fear. Many fans believe this foreshadows the famous denial scene, the heartbreaking moment when Peter, despite his loyalty, denies knowing Jesus 3 times. It hasn't been confirmed, but the emotional weight in his expressions makes it a powerful possibility. If Season 6 builds toward this moment, it would mark one of the most gut-wrenching arcs in the entire series. Another fan theory focuses on the growing Roman presence. Sharp-eyed viewers noticed new figures in uniform, watching and listening from the shadows. Some speculate that Season 6 will expand on the political tension, showing how Rome's grip tightened as Jesus' influence spread. This could mean more scenes with officials, interrogations, and confrontations that test not only Jesus, but his disciples' courage as well. It raises the question, how long can they walk freely before the full weight of Rome bears down on them? There's also speculation about Judas Iscariot. Though he's been present since earlier seasons, the trailer seems to give him a more mysterious aura. Some fans suggest Season 6 will begin planting the seeds of his eventual betrayal, showing subtle shifts in his loyalty. Quick glances, uneasy stares, and background positioning in the trailer all hint at a man wrestling with decisions that will define history. Other theories dive into the spiritual side of the trailer. A few fans believe that certain visual choices, the way light breaks through clouds, the way crowds gather in silence, symbolize more than just scenes. They might be deliberate artistic hints pointing to miracles, parables, or even foreshadowing the passion itself. For devoted fans, every detail becomes a potential clue, every line of dialogue a puzzle piece in a much larger picture. What makes these theories so compelling is that they aren't just about plot points. They're about emotion. Fans want to understand not just what happens next, but how these characters will break, heal, and grow under pressure. And if The Chosen has taught us anything so far, it's that the show never takes the easy route. Expect surprises, expect heartbreak, and expect moments that stay with you long after the credits roll. Season 6 of The Chosen isn't just another continuation of the story. It's a turning point, both for the series and for the people watching it. From the very beginning, The Chosen has set itself apart by blending faith, storytelling, and cinematic artistry in a way that feels both timeless and modern. But Season 6 carries a different kind of weight. It's not only about what happens next in the narrative. It's about why these moments matter to millions of viewers around the world. Think about it. This is the season that begins steering us toward the events every Christian knows are coming. Betrayal, sacrifice, and redemption. The seeds planted in earlier seasons are starting to bloom. But what grows isn't always beautiful. Conflict will sharpen, relationships will fracture, and the cost of following Jesus will become impossible to ignore. That sense of inevitability gives Season 6 a kind of gravity the show hasn't carried before. It's not just building a story, it's preparing hearts for the storm. Beyond the narrative, there's the cultural impact. The Chosen has reached people across countries, languages, and backgrounds. It's more than a show, it's a movement. It's been watched in homes, churches, and even theaters packed with audiences who rarely see faith-based stories told with such authenticity. For many viewers, this isn't just entertainment, It's a spiritual experience that sparks conversation, reflection, and even transformation. Season 6 matters because it keeps that momentum alive at a time when global audiences are hungry for both hope and truth. And finally, there's the personal connection. Fans don't just watch these characters, they see themselves in them. Peter's doubts, Mary's resilience, Matthew's struggles, Thomas's questions. These aren't distant historical figures. They are mirrors of our own fears, flaws, and hopes. That's why every season feels bigger than just storytelling. It feels like an invitation to walk alongside them. And with Season 6, that walk leads us closer to the heart of the story, the place where history and faith collide. This is why Season 6 matters. Because it doesn't only push the narrative forward, it pushes us forward too. It challenges us, stirs us, and reminds us that we are witnessing a story that has changed the world and continues to change lives today. The Season 6 trailer for The Chosen has given us more than just a glimpse into what's coming. It's given us a promise of higher stakes, deeper emotions, and moments that will stay with us long after the season ends. We've seen the faces of old friends carrying heavier burdens, the flicker of new characters who may alter the story, and hints of conflicts that could tear everything apart. And through it all, we feel the weight of history moving closer to its defining moment. This is why fans can't stop talking about the trailer. Every shot, every line of dialogue, every shadow and light feels carefully placed to prepare us for what might be the most powerful season yet. We've broken down the key scenes, we've looked at the cast, we've speculated about what's ahead. But the truth is, the beauty of The Chosen lies in its ability to surprise us. No matter how many theories we share or clues we dissect, there's always something unexpected waiting around the corner. That's why Season 6 isn't just something to watch. It's something to experience together. As fans across the globe count down the days, one thing is clear. This show has grown beyond the screen. It's become a conversation, a community, and in many ways, a journey of faith that we are all walking at the same time. So now it's your turn. What moments from the trailer stood out to you the most? Do you think Peter's conflict will lead to his denial this season? What about Judas? Are the seeds of betrayal already planted? And how soon do you think the release date will finally be confirmed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because your voice is part of what makes the Chosen community so powerful. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any updates. I'll be covering more news, theories, and deep dives as we get closer to the release. Until then, hold on to the excitement, keep watching for updates, and get ready. Because The Chosen Season 6 is coming, and it's going to be unforgettable.